Israeli forces nearly captured Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar in an underground hideout in Gaza. An IDF general says the terror leader fled minutes before their arrival, leaving behind hot coffee and piles of cash.
This as Israelis gather in Jerusalem and Tel Aviv to pray on a historical day of great mourning, all while bracing for an attack from Iran and its proxy armies. CBN's Julie Stahl has that story.
Despite the threats on multiple fronts, tens of thousands of Israelis gathered to pray in Jerusalem and Tel Aviv for the commemoration of Tisha B'Av. It's a day on the Hebrew calendar when throughout history disasters fell upon the Jewish people, including the destruction of both the First and Second Temples and the start of World War I. Beginning Monday, the prayers continue through today and include the reading of the Book of Lamentations. The observance even more significant this year as Israel faces imminent threat of attack from Iran, Hezbollah, and other Iranian proxies in the region. The IDF is ready to take preventative action if necessary.
We attack all the time and remove threats as soon as we detect them. We are at peak readiness for this mission.
Israel's defense minister says the Jewish nation is ready.
We are in the days of vigilance and preparedness. The threats from Tehran as well as Beirut may come to fruition.
The U.S. agrees with Israel's intelligence warning that a wave of major attacks could come at any moment.
We have to be prepared for what could be a significant set of attacks.
On the northern border, Hezbollah appears to be readying for war. Lebanese media reports the terror group has evacuated its Beirut headquarters. President Biden joined the leaders of Germany, France, Britain, and Italy in a joint statement on the situation. We expressed our support for the defense of Israel against Iranian aggression and against attacks by Iran-backed terrorist groups. We called on Iran to stand down its ongoing threats of a military attack against Israel. In Gaza, Israeli forces say they came close to delivering a major blow against Hamas. An IDF general reveals forces were just minutes away from reaching Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar in his underground lair. Hot coffee and piles of cash left behind by the occupants. This as Israeli leaders engaged in an open spat. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu accused Defense Minister Yoav Gallant of adopting an anti-Israel narrative after Gallant criticized Netanyahu's talk of absolute victory. Netanyahu says it's a clear goal that everyone is obligated to support. Julie Stahl, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Thank you, Julie. And staying with news from the Middle East, as Iran and Hezbollah ramp up their threats, Israel's emergency services are preparing the nation for large-scale attacks. Ephraim Graham has more from the CBN newsroom. Ephraim?
Andrew, the National Emergency Medical Service is preparing hospitals, clinics, personnel, and entire communities to deal with the fallout from an attack. CBN correspondent Chuck Holton has an exclusive look at how the National EMS team is getting ready for any scenario.
You've heard of the Red Cross, but in Israel, it's the Red Star of David that's saving lives. Magen David Adom, or MDA, is Israel's premier ambulance and blood service. With a force of over 30,000 volunteers, they're on the front lines of Israel's defense against terror.
So ever since October 7, 2023, Magen David Adom has been preparing for a large-scale war in Israel. We understand that, first of all, maybe international assistance will be blocked because the airport will be closed. So we have stored medical equipment, water, and food rations for many months ahead.
MDA's arsenal includes more than 1,500 ambulances, hundreds of motorcycles, and even boats and helicopters. They're not just preparing, they're ready for war.
We train our people to work in what we call an isolated island scenario, meaning those are the ambulances that you have. This is the manpower that you have. Now, think of how you respond better without having the umbrella of the entire organization.
As they seek to help Israel be as prepared as possible for whatever might happen in the next few days, Magen David Adom is doing a lot more than just providing ambulance services and first aid training. They're also stockpiling things like this generator in different spots all around the country in case there's a nationwide power outage because of the attacks. MDA isn't just waiting for attacks. They're empowering Israeli citizens to defend themselves.
We train communities, we equip them with medical equipment, so if, God forbid, they are attacked, they can respond first.
In the face of these threats, MDA is leveraging cutting-edge American technology to save lives.
We are using AI features in order to send ambulances automatically without the intervention of a human, done very, very quick. We use a machine learning processes in order to predict where the next call will come from.
And as Israelis watch the skies tonight, MDA is as prepared as it can get.
We are in a standby, as nobody really knows what will happen. And we do understand that if Iran will retaliate from 5 different fronts, this might cause damage in a colossal magnitude. This might cause hundreds, if not thousands, of wounded. And this is why everyone are preparing.
Chuck Holton, CBN News, Jerusalem.